Hi, good people. Welcome back. You are watching Power Talk. My name is Monejo. I'm your host this evening, and I'm joined by two lovely ladies. We have Amgoi and Becky. Becky is a psychologist and, psychologist. You know, I'm always kind of confusing psychologist and psychiatrist. Okay. Becky's a psychologist, and Amgoi is a self-sabotage coach. We were just talking about how people tend to be afraid of success because, one, it comes with a lot of favors and a lot of entitlement to a certain extent, and also it comes with a lot of change. You have to be disciplined to also maintain it, and you have to be, you kind of have to train yourself to be a different person, right? But now we were slowly turning the conversation to now the fear of failure, which is, I think that one I can say just cuts across all. Hakuna tu mtu anaogopa hakuna mtu haogopi ku fail, you know. Everyone, there's just that beat, right? So yeah, I will just get into that, but for now I'm just reminding you, question of the evening, we're asking, which do you define as success between money and happiness? All right, so yes, before to cut short, Becky, you were talking about that beat. You can now get more into it now the opposite of now fearing to succeed.
Okay, so absolutely everyone, kila mtu like amekuwa na a fear of failure, and one thing that I think of is, if we at some point, if we fear to fail, then that means we are happy being where we are. Like, we are happy stagnating. We are happy like kukua tu penye tuko, you know? Because once you have like that fear of failure, it will definitely rig the game for you. Because you won't have the spirit of wanting to try new things, you know, wanting to experience a lot, wanting to explore other things. So the fear of failure is quite a huge problem for most of us, because, I mean, we are human beings, and human beings have the fear of failure. But now, at the end of the day, once you have that fear, it will definitely rig the game for you. It will definitely put you down. So as an individual, it's very good that we get to understand that this failure is what makes us better. This failure is what makes us to have the urge to build skills, build our empires, build houses, buy new cars, you know, build our success story in general, you know. And I've had clients before who have come to me and they're like, oh, I don't want to try this thing because now if I try, or what if I fail, what if it doesn't work? They've already put negative thoughts about it, you know. And once you start putting negative thoughts about it, that's when you plan to fail. I mean, negativity equals to. So it's very good that we also get to build positivity, as much as, yes, failure is part of the game. And in this generation, as you may notice, but young people don't embrace failures. They don't embrace challenges. They don't embrace these setbacks. Most of them just want to see results. Most of them just want to see what's the outcome, what have you bought, what have you done. And it's something that I believe people really need to change. Yeah, and if at all you can seek professional help from psychologists, from coaches, from wellness coaches as well, because now when you have that particular failure, it's something that starts from within, and it rigs the game for you from within. So once you have that negativity before you even start, I mean, that means you don't believe in yourself, because good positivity and good you, once you feed yourself with good things, that's where now you'll have the psyche to do things, you know. Yeah, so I believe this current generation, unapata sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time, they don't want to embrace challenges. They don't want to embrace failures. Utafungua kwa feed yako leo, utaona tu mtu amepurchase kitu, utapata tu mtu amefanya kitu, but people won't acknowledge your failures, because maybe it could be umejaribu hiyo kitu imefail, umejaribu tena imefail, and then mara ya tatu ama mara nne ndio sasa imekuwa successful. So people really need to know that failures are part of successes, and challenges and setbacks are also part of our success. People shouldn't fear to fail, you know. But if at all it's exclusive, you face, if at all you have like you have this fear of failure that is excessive, that is exclusive, and you're experiencing panic attacks, you're going into depression, you know, anxiety, you can always seek professional help. It can't be that bad, but if it gets that bad, you can always seek professional help, and that is why we're here as psychologists, as wellness coaches, you know. That is one thing, that is one area that we're trained in. We help people overcome these particular symptoms that they tend to get whenever maybe they're facing setbacks, or, you know, they're fearing some things. Yeah, so yeah, I believe failures are part of life, part of successes as well, and people should embrace them.
Embrace them.
Yes.
All right. I like, you know, there's that bit you talked about, like, it's almost as if you can't be successful without having had failed at some point, you know. So in as much as, and also if you start being negative about, you're consistently overthinking about failing, that you kind of become it. You become consistent. Like, I guess now you self-sabotage yourself to a certain extent, you know. Like, you have to believe in yourself to the point where you know that this is doable.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. So there's a bit you talked about. It came off as taking risks, rather. So I'm imagining in your experience as a coach, especially within the young people, youth are the people who you always think you have time. You always believe you know. First of all, do you feel as if there's a timeline to certain things? If I may ask, just putting it out there, is there a timeline to certain things? Because youth are always thinking, you know what, I should make my money while my legs are not, you know, after one sport I can just, you know. You know, also people want to make money where they still have, you know, the energy to consistently go out and to celebrate and do all these other things. But there's that bit I wanted to find out, if does the age thing also start to impact young people to a certain extent, and also how do you go about people taking risks? Because everybody's afraid of going that extra mile of taking a risk. But how would you advise someone who's now is about, nimefika hapa 50%, I know I have to jump I have to go on a limb and just take a risk and see where this takes me. You know?
First of all, I think with age, we have to go back to your values. What is important to you? Because if someone is achieving something at the age of 25, we really don't know what they did. And someone else, we can also see someone else achieving the same thing maybe at the age of 40. I mean, does it mean that their success is lesser than the person who is 25? I think it's just life, and things go differently, and we have different resources at our, you know, at our availability, pretty much, right? When it comes to taking risks, the thing that I do know is that we humans we actually come from a negativity bias. From back then, from Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, like literally we are negative based. And if you think about it, it was a protective mechanism. For those people, they needed that. Like if you hear something in the bush, you have to run. So like that was like the most important thing, to be on alert, to think about what if a lion comes and eats my family, so I have to be on alert. So when it comes to taking risks, I always say it is a lot of work that you have to do. You have to put in a lot of work, because taking a risk has to be something that you have to kind of edge yourself to doing things, being uncomfortable, doing things that you've never done. But that also needs you, I go back again to saying that you need to, first of all, even regulate your nervous system, first of all. That is also something very important. You have to, like she said, seek help, first of all, if you find that you're finding it very, very hard to even take the step, because sometimes fear can be crippling. It literally makes your nervous system freeze, so you can't do things. So at watu waseme, you have to go after your success, you know, you're young, you have this agility within you, like go after your goals, but then fear can be very, very crippling. Like I think we kind of negate it. It's actually a big thing. And so it's important to just allow yourself to do things that are uncomfortable as a human being. Slowly, you have to take the risks in measurable steps, but you have to allow yourself to do those things that are scary. And that's the only way you grow. And even in our training, we're told that fear and courage go hand in hand. The lack of one does not mean that you're better than the other. For most people, I think actually they're more scared to do the things that, and then we're like, oh my God, that was so good. Yeah, talk to the person. They're so scared behind, you know, the whole thing that they're showing you. So I think it's important for us as the youth or young people to kind of start embracing a little bit of discomfort
Right.
over and over again, and ask yourself, I remember this, I don't know if I read this somewhere, but someone said that one thing they really appreciated about their dad on a dinner table is that their dad would always ask them at the end of the day, what did you fail at today? And I think that is something to like kind of be like, oh wait, did you actually did I take any risk today? Did I take any risk this week? Or did someone tell me no? Then that means you did something good, because no doesn't mean that. Don't personalize it, basically, like me too, no.
It's never
It's,
personal.
just take it and just move forward. So with the risk, embrace a lot of discomfort. It's part of the growth. It's part of the success that we are all looking for. So yeah.
Oh, wow. It's part of the process to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You can sit in the discomfort, but knowing you're doing it for a better version of yourself, right?
100, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so in embracing discomfort, which is a really nice pointer to put in, there's also now the other end of the stick where people sometimes would tend to pick money over their peace of mind. Because like the bit where you talked about seeking help, like just sitting and realizing, hapa vitu zimekuwa some type of way. And now I'm imagining instances where I think that people, especially, I guess if I can speak from my industry, there are people who, there's a popular creator who made his million by the time he was 21, and then in a year or so he fell into a very dark depression, and then now he had to start a routine of healing. At what point, because money will make you, like, they'll probably give you temporary happiness to a certain extent, right? But at what point does it get back to the point where you realize people are not prioritizing money over their peace of mind, you know?
Now, in that particular situation, so maybe I can start by giving an example. For instance, we have like a ladder. You know, many people, if at all you tell someone to climb at the top of maybe a building or even a tree, but you put a ladder, many people will focus on getting to the top of the tree, you know. Many people will focus on maybe there's a reward there, or maybe there's a fruit over there. You've been told, go grab it. They'll focus on getting to the top of a tree instead of making sure the ladder is very strong,
stable,
so that it can save their life, so that it can be able to hold them properly even as they climb, okay? Now, when we talk about that question that you've posed, you know, it's very amazing how people nowadays, no, it's very sad actually, sorry. It's very sad how people tend to, unaona mtu akipata pesa, nowadays they feel so fulfilled. They feel like, mi nimefika, no one can tell me, such that sasa unapata mtu anaanza maybe kujitenga with their friends, or pia kujitenga na familia, forgetting that these people are your support system. As she said earlier on, support system is very, very important. And once you ruin that support system, I mean, you'll be lonely. You'll be lonely, very lonely at the top. But now, this is the bottom line. That once you get at the top, once you get this particular, that's why unapatanga watu wanapata do, but they don't feel fulfilled from the inside, or even like they've lost themselves while trying to find this particular wealth, you know, and that is why they don't feel accomplished from the inside. Maybe unapata they did some dirty jobs, you know. And in this young generation, unapatanga, people have embraced a lot. People have, if you listen to the stories people give on social media, you'll be so shocked, by the way. Because people do a lot of dirty jobs. People do everything possible for them to get out, kutoka block. That is what they call it. Yeah, people do a lot for them to, like, you know, get rid of this poverty, you know. But one thing they forget is that fulfillment. You know, yes, you might get that 1 million today, but at the end of the day, you'll just sleep and funika yourself in that blanket, and you'll be like, oh my God, what did I do? But now you tend to console yourself. You're like, but see, have the money. But at the same time, now, those are two things. Yes, you sleep and you're like, what did I do? You feel guilty, you feel depressed, you feel bad, but at the same time you console yourself. Now that is not success. That is not success. Success should feel fulfilled. You should feel fulfilled from the inside.
I earned this.
Exactly. You earned this from my sweat. This is what I worked for. This is what I went through. These are the challenges I went through, you know. Hey, what was spende kukula soft sana? Yes.
Soft life iko na balance.
Iko na balance.
I like, especially when you make a specific case, you can't be feeling unhappy and, you know, like, on one end tu vitu una feel there, alafu unajicomfort na lakini niko na do. I mean, it's amazing, but, you know, it's how the same way money can buy you sad. You can't buy yourself out of a disease because of money. You can't buy yourself out of a depressive state of mind, you know. So yes, I think in as much as we are chasing, because I know most of us for comment section, we've talked about money making you happy, but hopefully you can, as you're listening it, you're finding like there's a balance to it, you know. Achieve it while also keep a circle that you trust. Like Hikata, it's okay, grieve the relationship. Like Wangari said, grieve it and then start afresh, just keep moving, you know. All right, guys, we have almost 10 minutes, so I'm hoping we can pack everything else. There's an aspect we haven't talked about. I know we talked about mental wellness, we talked about the financial aspect of it, the traditional versus now the modern way of looking at success. I'm sure to listen with the traditional way, there's a bit of marriage. So now let's just bring it back to relationships. I'm sure now let's picture the people now who've achieved everything they needed financially, and also with money they can now afford to do therapy. They have coaches, they've good medical insurance, they go to the gym, like they've got everything together. But hapo nyota mapenzi imesema no, like imekataa tu kabisa, and it probably starts to take a toll on them, you know. Let me see how I'll phrase this question. I'm sure the gentlemen kole kwa gallery, they just want to know the bottom line of it. But is there a way for people to be fulfilled if every aspect of their life has worked? You've succeeded in many aspects of your life, but the relationship, marriage, the romantic bit hasn't really come to fruition yet. And could give us some insights from a self-sabotage coach's perspective. But please, like be watu as open as possible. Piga watu reality yenye wanafaa kusikia.
Oh my God. I mean, there's a common phrase that is said: you cannot heal yourself out of the need of a community and out of some things, you know, even romantic love. Romantic love is important. We are not going to say it's not important, but also having community of people around you is really, really and truly important. So if everything has worked out and romantically maybe things are not going on, you know, the way you would love them to go on, I mean, there could be a little bit of sadness there, you know, because like, where is my person, right? And it's a question that is like, where is my person? Where is my person? But and I think it's important, and not it's important, it's human.
To want.
It's human to want, to crave and to want somebody to be next to you. So I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually very healthy. It's very human. And even Gabor Mate, if you know him, is a psychotherapist, and he says that we cannot heal alone. And like life is about, even like when we were born, there's a mom, we were being held, all these things. So even growing up, all these things are great, but that aspect is also just as important. But I also say it's also important to have platonic love, because that's also another aspect of love. And so if you have platonic people and people who really see you and love you deeply, that can also be good. But we're not saying it overrides romantic love. Romantic love is important. That's it. That's my opinion. Romantic love is important.
All right.
To add on that, so you know, at this particular point, when this particular person has achieved maybe good wealth, you know, good success, amefika self-actualization, they have good money. So at this particular point, anafikiria, now, because I'm lonely, I don't have someone to love me or love, there's that fear of, what if I get this particular person, but this person will love me for what I have. There are also those fears. This person atakupenda kwa sababu kuna pesa. This person maybe is going to betray you. You know, such fears are also applicable. Also, another thing is from a psychological point of view, we have something known as the inverted triangle. I'm sure you've heard of that as well, right? Yes. The inverted triangle for Abraham Lincoln, I guess. Your inverted triangle, so see, venye triangle iko but inverted. So we start from the bottom, we take care of the basic needs, and then after that we go to the secondary needs, after that we go to the family needs, and then after that we go to now the love needs. You know, the love needs, and then now tunafika self-actualization. No, security, then self-actualization. Now, Abraham said that as a human being, as an individual, lazima upite all through
All
these
the stages
stages.
of
Na sasa ukihata
Hizi
moja, exactly. Sasa moja ikihata, kidogo utakuwa, yes, as much as utakuwa umefika self-actualization, unapatanga, there's a bit of, exactly, disability hapo hivyo. But it's possible. I mean, anything is possible.
Anything
it's possible
is
to,
possible. Yeah. But
yes,
I think
never say never.
Generally, I like that you brought that point, because also even the way you brought up there's Platonic Love, also there's other different ways you could find it, but I like that it's a reminder that you've got to trust the process.
Exactly.
You know, like, and I saw a meme that someone said, I mean, I know we are trusting the process, but the process knows you're trusting it. Don't worry, the process knows you're trusting it. Yeah. So you'll be all right. All right, guys, Aki, imefika ile point where we have to finya the show in literally 2 minutes. So I'm just going to read, there's some nice comments I've gotten from the producers. Kuna Rudra and Ruli said, money is the real definition of success. Happiness is brought by money, and you can buy happiness. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'll bring them back. We're going to actually, that should be a topic on its own. Yeah, okay. And then we have Ibra, amesema money over everything, money can bring happiness. Ama wewe time umesota unakuanga na furaha. Hey, sawa basi. When I'm strict, but tuko na point. Kuna Jeff Mudax amesema Ganji all the way. Ganji is money when you have to, Ganji is money. And then kuna Neema Crochets, she says, success brings money, and money sometimes accelerates success. That was actually a point I really wanted us to discuss, but it's okay. We're going to have the girlies back. She says, I now need both, because money accelerates success, which is actually a very big point. We have Omulala wa Momea, money that comes with happiness. All right, that's a good way to put it. Alafu Dennis amesema hawezi fanya kazi na huzuni, inafaa ufurahie kazi yako kwanza, alafu baadaye itakupatia pesa. That's a very nice note to end the comment section, right? All right, good people. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. I'm going to have my guests bid you goodbye in literally 30 seconds. Poleni na warakisha tu. But yes, now kumbusha tu, the conversation can still continue in the comment section on social media, Facebook, Y254 channel, Instagram, Y254 _ channel, then X, Y254. All right. The question now, kumbusha tu, is what do you think defines success between money and happiness, right? All right. Guys, Adam talk to Masalam. Leaving it time because strict lakini to Masalam. Just you can give 1 or 2 last liners as you bid them off, and then remind them your social media platforms, how they can also access services, your psychology services and coaching services. Yeah. What else? Connecting to Mesao, kutuma salamu, social media platforms zenye unaweza tupata, na pia one last closer as you know, uache watu na inaitwaje? Yeah, that one. Yes, I will start with you, Becky.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. I have been your psychologist. I am a licensed psychologist. You can find me on my social media platforms at Therapy with Wanjiru. I offer counseling services, and I'm a licensed psychologist as well. My YouTube channel, go watch my videos over there. I post mostly content on mental health awareness because that's what I love doing. So thank you so much. Till next time.
Hey, okay. Next time unaweza come up, in fact. I think you'll survive. The producer will be impressed by that time is over, but thank you. She said Becky Wanjiru is her name. You can check her out. He said psychology. Remind me the
psychologist
Therapy
username.
with Wanjiru.
Therapy with Wanjiru is a social media platform. Is a social media username on Instagram. Alafu for you, Wangoi.
It was a pleasure to be on set with you, Joy. My name is Wangoi Mungai. I'm a master NLP practitioner, a self-sabotage coach. And you can follow me on Instagram at Coach Wangoi, at LinkedIn, Coach Wangoi, TikTok, Coach Wangoi, literally. And I offer coaching services to help you break out of the self-sabotaging cycle. And my last thing to tell you is that you'll find your people on the other side. Your people are waiting for you on the other side.
Before, just one last question as we leave. Your comment is still stuck in our heads. Do you think, okay, does money accelerate success?
Yes.
Does it always accelerate success?
100, yes. Yes.
It does.
It does.
It does?
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
All right, so you just have to trust the process and go through all the the inverted triangle. You have to go through all of it up until you get to the self-actualization. All right, good people. Reminder, there are social media platforms, Therapy with Wanjiru, and then Coach Wangoi. Unaweza wapata on their social media platforms. Ukishaingia kwa DM unaweza itisha number if you'd like to seek their services as well. Please the numbers nishaona kwa iko kuna comment hadi siwezi sema nishaona venye mnaenda. So please make sure you reach out to them in case you need any further help, in case you need professional help from them. And it's been such an honor having you ladies on the show. I hope to have you guys back. Mkiwa tu hivyo. These guys were chatting outside of the studio like they know each other. So it's a nice thing. Like we said, girlies will always link up and we love to hear it. Yeah. Good people, thank you for sorry, to the entire crew for making the show possible. We really appreciate it. The producer, the director, the camera crew, the sound team, the programming team as well. Thank you for always just holding it down on Power Talk. And I'm still enjoying this seat. I'm still going to keep it warm up until when the time comes. But for now, my name is Monejo, and it's been an honor hosting Power Talk today. And I will see you, God willing, next week on Thursday. Have a great week and a great weekend. Bye.